Welcome to the Lifetime Assembly channel. My name is Isaac, and today I'm going to help you assemble your 8x10 outdoor storage shed. Before we get started, make sure the model number of your shed is listed in the description below. This video will follow the steps outlined in the assembly manual that comes with your shed. So if you've already begun and need help on a specific step, check the description below for a timestamp associated with each step. There are steps in this assembly that require 2 people, so make sure you have at least one other adult available to help. Before we get into the assembly process, let's take a look at the tools you'll need to complete the job. You may want to pause the video now so you can gather the supplies shown on the screen. Also, you may see us use an impact driver. If you decide to use one as well, be careful not to over-torque or over-tighten the hardware. You will also need additional tools to prepare a foundation for your shed, so refer to your manual to see what other resources you will need. All Lifetime sheds are required to be built on a foundation. We recommend you use concrete, but you can also use lumber. This video is meant to be a companion to the assembly manual and not a direct replacement. So for the best results, have the assembly manual on hand as you complete the build. It is also crucial that you refer to the assembly manual to review the safety instructions of this build to prevent serious injury or property damage. All right, let's get started. This section goes over the requirements for the foundation of your shed. This video will focus on the assembly of the shed and not of the foundation. So refer to your manual in section 1 to see how to properly build a foundation for your shed. If you have questions regarding the foundation, please feel free to reach out to our customer service team at the number below. Take 2 gutter channels and line up the holes in the connector piece with the holes in the gutter channels and secure with the hardware. Be careful not to over-tighten this hardware. Line up the holes in the middle of the gutter channels with the holes at the end of the truss brace and secure the hardware, making sure the head of the bolt is on the inside of the gutter channel. To make tightening this hardware easier, I like to use a pair of vice grips with a Phillips head bit. Insert the truss rod through the connector and truss brace and secure the hardware. Only tighten this hardware until the truss rod doesn't wiggle. Repeat this section 2 more times for a total of 3 truss assemblies. Take the two gable halves that don't have a curve at the bottom, line them up in the center, and secure with the hardware. Line the holes in the screen with the holes in the vent. Place on the front side of the gable. And secure with the hardware. Take the two gable halves that do have a curve at the bottom, line them up in the center, and secure with the hardware. Line with holes in the screen with the holes in the vent. Place on the front side of the gable. And secure with the hardware. Take the header bar and insert a plug into each end. Place the header bar onto the gable, making sure these dimpled holes rest against the gable and the dimpled hole in the center is facing down. Secure the header bar to the gable, starting with the hardware in the center first. Then finish securing the header bar through the oblong holes. Take the left door, the one with the Lifetime logo, and line up these holes in the square tube with these holes in the door. Then insert the square tube into the bottom of the door, making sure to leave a few inches hanging out. Make sure you don't change the orientation of the tube as you put it in the bottom of the door. Insert a cap into the tube, then finish sliding until it's flush with the end of the door. On the front of the door, place a latch bracket oriented like this, then secure the hardware. Only finger tighten this hardware for now. On the back side of the door, locate these divots at the top and bottom of the door and drill them out with the provided drill bit, making sure to only go through the first layer of metal. At the bottom of the door, place a spacer over the holes you drilled out, making sure you can read the word down. Then add the lock, making sure it's oriented like this. Then secure the screws. Repeat at the top of the door, except this time we want to make sure the spacer reads up. Take the two halves of the handle and connect them like this. Place a handle or these holes on the front side of the door and secure the hardware on the back. On the opposite edge of the door, insert a hinge tube, making sure to leave a few inches hanging out on each end. On the back side of the door, locate this groove around the window and insert the butyl tape going all the way around the window. Peel the plastic film off of both sides of the window. Place the window on top of the butyl tape, making sure the holes in the window line up with these divots. Then secure with the hardware. Take the right door and line these holes in the tube with these holes in the door. Then insert at the bottom of the door, making sure to leave a couple inches hanging out. Insert the cap into the bottom of the tube, then finish sliding until it's flush with the bottom of the door. Locate this divot at the bottom of the door, then insert the self-tapping screw to secure the tube into place. Attach the locking hardware in this order, making sure it's oriented like this. Connect the two halves of the handle together like this. Place the handle over these holes on the front of the door and secure with the hardware in the back. For the long screws, make sure you add this bracket oriented like this. On the opposite edge of the door, insert a hinge tube, making sure to leave a few inches hanging out on each end. On the back side of the door, locate this groove around the window and insert your butyl tape going all the way around the window. Remove the plastic film from both sides of the window. Place the window over the butyl tape. Make sure to line up these holes with these divots. Then secure the hardware. Lay the floor panels out like this and connect an inner panel to an outer panel by lifting the inner panel up at an angle, interlocking the tabs, and setting the panel back down. Secure the floor panels together by inserting the screws into the divots along each seam. For this section, it's important that you use the right panel. Each panel has a 3-letter ID either at the top or bottom of the panel. Take the corner panel labeled AGY and on the right seam, add a wall support, making sure the 2 holes close together go at the bottom of the panel. Line the holes in the wall support with the divots in the panel and secure the hardware. For the corner panel labeled AGL, add a wall support to the seam on the right, making sure the 2 holes that are close together are at the top of the panel. On the corner panel labeled AGN, add a wall support to the seam on the left, making sure the 2 holes that are close together are at the top of the panel. Take a corner panel labeled AGW and add a wall support to the seam on the left, making sure the 2 holes close together are at the bottom of the panel. Take all of the panels labeled AHD and add a wall support to the center channel, making sure the two holes that are close together are at the top of the panel. Take the corner panel labeled AGY, and on one of the short edges where you would like your doors, insert the tabs to the bottom of the panel to these two cutouts on the floor. Slide the panel to the left to lock it in place. I'm comfortable tapping with my foot, but if you're not, use a block and a rubber mallet. Lean the panel away from the floor, fold it in half, line the tabs at the bottom with the slits on the floor, and apply downward pressure to lock it into place. If you're having a difficult time getting the tabs to lock into place, place a block under each tab individually and apply downward pressure. Take a panel labeled AHD and insert the tabs at the bottom into the cutouts of the floor next to the corner panel. Slide the panel towards the previous panel to lock it into place. Make sure the panels are flush at the top, then secure through the 5 holes. The window panel can go anywhere on either long edge. For this shed, we're going to put it here using the same method as the previous panel. Now, add one more panel labeled AHD. Add the corner panel labeled AGW to this corner using the same method as you did the first corner. On the back edge, you must use 2 panels labeled AHD. Add the corner panel labeled AGL to this corner. Add the 3 remaining panels labeled AHD to this edge. Add the final corner panel labeled AGN to this corner. Locate the circular holes in the opening and add the bushings from the bottom going up. There are 3 height settings for your shelf. They're indicated by these divots on the corner panels. Once you've decided what height you want your shelf at, add the shelf brackets to these slits on the center 2 wall supports. Take the shelf and fold the tabs on the end up. Then place the shelf on the shelf brackets, making sure the word front is facing the entrance of the shed. Secure the tabs to the corner panels with the hardware. Then secure the shelf brackets to the shelf through the front holes. Insert the hinge tube of the left door, which is the one with the Lifetime logo, into the bushing, making sure the hole in the bottom of the hinge tube lines up with the slit in the bushing. Insert the cotter pin from the outside going in, then flare the ends to lock it in place. Repeat for the right door. Close the doors, then, with the help of another person, lift the gable that has the curved bottom on top of the hinge tubes. Line the holes of the gable with the divots in the corner panel and secure the hardware. Place the gap flaps in these locations and secure the hardware. Take a truss assembly and insert each end of the gutter channels into the cutout at the top of the walls closest to the doors. While you continue to hold the truss, have someone else slide a roof panel onto the truss and over the gable. You'll know the roof is in the correct position when the alignment nub rests in this notch. Secure the roof through these 4 holes at the top of the wall. If you're having a difficult time getting things to line up, click on this link here to see a video on how to properly align your roof panels. Now secure to the truss through the 2 lower holes. Then secure the gable to the roof through the bottom 2 holes. Add a roof support into the notch of the gable and truss. Then finish securing the roof through the 1 hole on the truss and the 2 on the gable. Repeat the previous steps on the opposite side of the shed. Repeat the previous process, adding 2 more truss assemblies and 4 more roof panels. Add the gable to the back wall and secure the hardware. Add the remaining 2 roof panels using the same method as you did the first 2. Take the connector that looks like this and the 2 short roof extensions and connect them in this location here. Insert the 2 skylights into each end of the connector. Carefully add the screws to the 4 holes closest to the connector. Add the long roof extensions to these locations, oriented like this, making sure one goes under the center roof extension and one goes on top of the center roof extension. Don't add hardware to these locations just yet. We'll add hardware in a later step. Add an end cap to each end and secure the hardware. With the help of another person, lift the skylight assembly on top of the shed until the center connector rests on the center truss. Secure the skylight to the roof, gable, and trusses. Now secure the end caps into place with the self-tapping screws through the inside of the cable. On the back wall, fill these holes with the clips, making sure the arrows are pointing up. Remove the plastic film from both sides of the window. Place the window into the frame, making sure the lip is at the top and on the inside of the shed. Then add the small screw into the hole at the bottom of the window. Place the window latches over these divots, oriented like this, and secure the hardware. Leave this hardware somewhat loose. You want the latches to slide freely. On the left and right side of the window, locate these divots and insert the hardware going through the wall. Place the shutter on top of the screws so they go into these holes. Then have someone go on the inside and tighten the screws. This shed comes with 6 wall hooks. They can be placed throughout the shed in any of these notches. Next, you need to make sure that your doors are level. Click on this link here to see a video, or refer to your manual in section 14 to see how to properly level your doors. If you have questions regarding leveling your doors, please feel free to reach out to our customer service team at the number below. Now that the doors are level, go inside, have someone lock the door, and tighten the hardware that we left loose on the left door. This section goes over how to anchor your shed to its foundation. Since we're inside, we won't be able to do so, but it's important that you do. So refer to your manual in section 15 to see how to properly anchor your shed to its foundation. Thank you for watching this video on how to assemble your lifetime 8x10 outdoor storage shed. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up. For more content like this, subscribe to our channel. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to our customer service team and check out our other amazing products at lifetime.com.